Okay, fourth grade, so today we're going to do lesson 8.6. It's page 290 and 291 in your math book. And before we get started, we're talking about the perimeter of rectangles. And so we need to make sure that we know that perimeter means it's the distance around something, like a fence. So when we look at number 1, it says use a formula to find the perimeter of each rectangle. Use fraction circles if needed, show your work. So a formula is essentially kind of the rules or the equation that you follow to solve your problem. So when I look at a rectangle, like the one we have here, okay, we know it's 3.5 feet this side and 2.5 feet of this side. And when we're looking at the perimeter of a rectangle or a square, there's a formula. We can do length times 2 plus side times 2, and that equals that perimeter. And that means our length and our side. So I know if the top is 3.5, then this bottom is 3.5. And if this side's 2.5, then this side is 2.5, right? So if I used this formula, I could do 3.5 times 2 plus 2.5 times 2. And that would give us our perimeter. And a lot of you might want to do that as adding 3.5 plus 3.5 and then 2.5 plus 2.5, and that's fine. But we still want to also pay attention to what the formula is. So if I do 3.5 times 2, I always like to actually put my whole number that does not have a fraction in the front because it makes it easier for me. So I know I have to split it as to 2 times 3, and then I also add that to 2 times 1/2. Okay. So 2 times 3 is 6. That 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 1/2 is 2 halves. So that total would be 7. Okay, because that's 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And then 2 times 1/2 is 2 halves. So that total is 7. So here we have 7. And then here, 2.5 times 2, we have 2.5 and 2.5. So, hi sweetie. So 2.5 times 2. And again, I'll put my whole number in front. So now it's 2 times 2 plus 2 times 1/2. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2 times 1/2 is 2 halves or 1 whole. So 4 plus 1 whole is 5. So our perimeter here is 12. Okay, so that's number 1. I want you to try the rest of those like that, and then if you need any help, get with your teacher. Okay, thanks guys.